Episode 49 of the Planet Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, Patrick from NintenTalk. Let's see what's on the menu for today. We got PM picks to start it off, what games we've been playing, what games are coming out, the Switch UI, how are we going to fix it, and what changes are coming over. What holy grail would we add to our gaming collection? And are these remakes? What are you laughing about?
Vanna White over here, man. How can you keep a straight face with this idiot doing all
I almost
stuff,
had it.
man?
Almost had it. I do this every episode.
Coming to the Switch. Let's get it started. What's up, guys? Episode 49. And before I start, let's welcome the greatest co-host on the planet, Bobby the Nintendo Guru. What's up, man?
I just want to do this show every week before noon because I get top billing when it's before noon. When it's later in the day, you go to Joe, and
Yep.
So I like this.
Yeah, for
Next
some
week we're gonna
reason,
do-
even though I didn't pick 9 a.m.
Next week we're gonna do so. You were that's the funny thing. You were there. You were standing right next to me when he.
You guys said morning, and I was like, huh?
No. He said, "What did you say? 8 or 9, right?"
I said 9.
Well, I missed that part completely.
Well, no, but I think the initial was like, do you want to go 8 or 9 o'clock? Something like that. And then Pat was like, well, let's go 9.
Joe
He
was a couple.
He was standing right there.
I was
next
not
to
paying
me.
attention to that conversation.
No
I couldn't even
joke.
hear. I couldn't even hear Pat barely.
Joe was a couple strawberry margaritas in. So
He had this big bowl, this fish bowl thing.
The thing that had like no liquor in it.
It was, like,
it was
this
all
big,
sugar.
dude. Like
and
this.
speaking of Joe after work, what's up, man?
I'm doing amazing, man.
You
I had a
still
fun
eating
time.
breakfast over here?
I'm eating some jerky that
Nice.
one of our mods, CB Nuttree, sent over all the way from Colorado.
You shouldn't be eating on the podcast. Adam Leonard is gonna like lose his mind on you right now.
Unless it's good jerky.
Stop, dude. Stop.
There
I'm
we
out.
go.
I ain't listening to that shit.
It's not like you can hear that. That's fine. I have noise gate.
It's jerky ASMR.
I know how to do. I don't know how to do audio. Damn it.
Bobby, what games you been playing, man? Still on
Just
that
PM
Dead Cells
picks?
kick?
Is this PM Picks or is this just what we're playing?
This is PM Picks.
Okay. Then why are you asking me? See, now this is you asked me what I'm playing, and then I asked you before the show what exactly am I supposed to be talking about with PM Picks?
So
And you're like,
it's what we've been playing, and then we give our
Okay.
PM Picks.
okay. So what I've been playing? Yes, I've been on the Dead Cells kick, loving the hell out of that game. I found out some new stuff by hanging out with Joe after work and Joseph Moran yesterday. They kind of helped me a little bit further. I'm not as far as I thought I was, but I'm ready to really like now dive in further because now that I'm starting to feel from talking to these guys, it's going to help me get better at this game.
Okay.
Game is so good.
It really
Joe?
is.
Can you talk about a certain fighting game yet?
That's what
think
I
you
was
can.
looking up right now. Yeah, I can. Because Tuesday? Yeah, we're good. Blade Strangers. It's here. I'm freaking hyped. Dude, the game's awesome. I've been playing mostly in handheld mode and using this bad boy right here. This is the Hori Joy-Con.
Nice.
Yeah. D-pad is what it is. It's getting the job done. Like, it's not the best D-pad on the world. I would still prefer the Xenoblade one over the Joy-Cons or the other Pro Controller, in my opinion. I've yet
You
to
need
try
to
it with
get the,
Fight Stick, but
You should do these.
I want to. I was afraid I was going to
The
spend too
Power
much
8.
money yesterday, but now that I barely broke anything there.
I tagged you. I tagged you on Instagram.
I saw it that
Yeah.
day, and I was like, let me wait until after this, and it's still up. I might get it, but
Yeah.
this is probably gonna be the main way I play this. bad
Oh
boy
my
right here.
God.
So, we'll see. We'll see about that. The game's like fighting mechanics really work. I was afraid of the game playing slow because in some of the later gameplay that they've been showing, things have been rather slow, like in terms of the movement, and that was something a lot of people noticed. But It seems to play fine. I played as Solange. You don't have all the characters unlocked right from the start. Seems like you keep playing the story with other characters and you unlock them. So right now I only have Lena, who's like the main evil person, and like the way the story's a story. First off, it's not a great story. Take it for what it's worth. It's a fighting game. Granted, Mortal Kombat and Injustice have some amazing stories to it. Yeah, freaking... Okay, I'm just gonna leave autofocus on, never mind. But it comes down to, like, the core mechanics of the gameplay is really what keeps me going, is how each character has a different fight style. Like, I was playing as Curly from Cave Story, and she's, like, a projectile fighter. Like, you can do some combos with her, but she seems to be more like you should be fighting at a distance, sort of, and then coming in strong with some of the stuff. Their specials are crazy. Like, they get out of control. Like, with Curly in particular, she goes into, like, 8-bit story mode, and with all the rabbits coming, and then she just throws this giant rocket at you. It's hysterical. Or, like, this giant...
So you didn't get Shovel Knight yet?
No, I haven't unlocked Shovel Knight yet. I all I care about is Gunvolt. Like, once I unlock him, that's it. It's over. Game over. I'm done. But they do a good job also, like, teaching you the game. So there's, like, missions where you can go in and actually, like, learn the combos. They took a note from Blaze Blue, because Blaze Blue did a really good job at, like, showing someone who wants to get more into fighting games how the mechanics work. And you can actually go through and do a few missions of every single character. And you can even do them for the characters that are unlocked. I mean, that are locked at the moment, so you can still play as them. It seems like, I don't know if that's, like, meant to be there, but it is there. You're able to play with them. But yeah, that's like really neat there. Then of course your story, you can beat the each character within like 20 minutes each. It's fairly quick. It's like 6 fights, and then 6 fights at 2 rounds, like your standard fighting game thing.
Damn, worth the hype. It's worth the hype.
For me personally, I've been waiting for this. This was the fighting game that I've been waiting for the last few months.
Okay.
Since last year, actually. Sorry.
So I picked up a couple games. I finally caved and I picked up Hollow Knight, but I haven't played it yet. I think it was like $8. I used some coins with the discount. It's a no-brainer, guys. If it's still on the shop, you got to get it. And then Little Dragon's Cafe. God damn, this game is really cool, man. It looks, first of all, it looks like you're in a storybook. Like, it's not even like cell shaded, I wouldn't say. It's like, I would say storybook graphics.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's really cool. My only thing is there are some performance issues with some pop-in and frame rate at times. What's that?
A lot of load screen.
There's a lot of load screens. The frame rate can dip at times, but I think as I'm farther in the game, like it's not as bad, I don't think. But it's really fun. The makers of Harvest Moon made this game, and it's kind of it's not as like, you know, in a lot of these games like Stardew Valley and stuff, you have like stamina meters and like you have to manage all this stuff. It's kind of like bringing it back, so you're more focused on like getting ingredients. The whole premise of this game really is to manage a cafe and raise a dragon. It's just, dude, I think you would like it a lot. I think you'd like it a lot.
No.
Stop. You would like it. You like
I'm asleep over here listening to this nonsense.
Dragon Quest. You like Dragon Quest Builders.
That's different. It's a good game. Okay, look. All right, let me stop. People are gonna think I hate everything.
Mm-hmm.
I did see it. I see you posted on this. You tweeted about it, and you wanted to like go home from work or something to play it. And so I looked into it. How much did this thing cost?
It's full price.
Yeah, it is a full price game.
I'm gonna wait. But it does look very cool. Who knows? Maybe soon.
Yeah.
It almost seems like Baby's first slice of life game where you're like going out and
yeah,
mainly item gathering. Like, Pat, I don't know like how far you've gotten or if there's like more to that, but as you're being allowed to explore more areas, are you is there anything else on top of that? Like,
Yeah, so that's a good point because like it's more story based. So as you progress in the story, like Joe was saying, more parts of the map get unlocked and you can get different ingredients. Like basically the whole point of the game is finding new recipes and making things. And then when you're in the kitchen, when you're actually making the recipes, it turns into like a rhythm game. It's
yeah,
kind of like Battle Chef Brigade, but that's more of like a puzzler, but this is like a rhythm game. So I think it's really cool. And as your dragon, as you raise your dragon, you can like ride it around the island and stuff. I'm not that far. I'm probably like 3 or 4 hours in, but yeah, that's my pick this week.
you forgot the most important part, Pat. Why
What?
you have to raise the dragon?
That's so your mom is in a coma because she's part dragon. So you have to raise a dragon to make her better. I don't know. I just cook.
Yeah, her blood isn't syncing with the human blood, so she's now like just in bed sleeping.
Have you seen the special edition, Joe?
I did.
I wish I got it.
I wasn't aware that there was one. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten out of my way because this was one of the games that I took a chance on because it's not really up my alley. But I've been enjoying it so far. Like, I played I think I spent like an hour's worth of what should have been an hour. Spent 2 hours playing. So
yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it is. The $60 price is a little. I would say if it was like $39.99.
If you would have said 40, I'd have been like, yes.
Yeah.
I'd have no brainer impulse buy for me. I would have jumped all over it. But I also spent a lot of money this week on other games that aren't even out yet. So I bought Monster Hunter that I'm going to stupid fly.
Shoot fly, don't
get out of my
bother
coffee.
Me. Shoot fly, don't bother me. Shoot fly, get in Bobby's coffee.
The hell's going on over here? Anyway, stupid. Anyway, so I bought Monster Hunter. I pre-ordered it, downloaded the demo. I'm gonna jump into the demo a little bit today to kind of get my bearings a little bit. So I can't wait to play that. Also, the Messenger that we talked about last week, I pre-ordered that as well. So I have that. But Monster Hunter is going to probably be the thing that I sink a little time into this week. Because it hits the 28th, I believe. So I'm ready for this game. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Dude.
Yeah, I cannot wait. Pat, are you getting it?
What? Monster Hunter? I don't know yet. I've never played one, so.
That's why you know what? My thing is, like, I tinkered with it. I think it was 3, which was on the 3 or 4 that was on the 3DS. I tinkered with it, but I really didn't have like a crew to play with. So like Jams is getting it, and I know Joe's getting it. So we need a 4th. If you want to jump in, and to me, Joe is the expert of us.
I don't know about expert, but I know people in the community that like really help out, like Ariel Draco and L1 Metal Gaming. They
Rybo as well. I think Rybo put a little time into it too, but I just want to know. Like, there's a demo available right now.
Maybe I'll play the demo and see.
Yeah, the thing of it is it's hard. Like it's not easy at all. But I think that I think Donnie from PSVG, when I was on Nintendo Shack this week, he was discussing the fact that he played this on the 3DS. And the advantage to this over World is if a monster comes after you in World, there's no getting away.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, if a monster comes after you and it's beating you down, you can at least get out of the screen and it won't come after you no more. So then you can get to the next screen, heal up, do what you got to do, and then maybe go after him again or go, I'm not messing with this dude anymore, I'm out.
Excuse me.
So, bless you. So it's a little mix of that stuff. But I strongly suggest, go get it, check it out. Because there's one or two sides on this thing. Either you love this game or you hate this game. And you'll know pretty well off quickly if you love it or hate it. I'm still in the camp of like, I don't hate it. I just know that I'm not playing it properly, and I want to put more time into it. So I listened to the 8-4 Play podcast,
Mhm.
and they're a bunch of like former EGM editors, and they do a lot of translating of Nintendo games and other games and stuff. And they're huge on Monster Hunter. And every time a new Monster Hunter game hits, they get all hyped up and they talk about it. And like that, hearing them talk about it always intrigues me. It makes me go like, there's got to be something I'm missing on this. But the one key caveat to it all is they all play together. And I'm like, this to me could be like a Fortnite or something where if you get a nice group of people that you're friends with that all play together, it makes Fortnite so much better. And it could be the same thing with Monster Hunter, I believe. So
Yeah,
Okay.
it has to be like the right people. Like there has to be at least one person that knows what they're doing and can sort of teach you the reins of like what's going on, and like at least explain the basics of like the weapon class and all that stuff, because this is more in depth, I feel like, than World when it comes to like your weapon selection and what style for that weapon selection you're going with, which it doesn't even ask you that in Monster Hunter World. It's just kind of like, hey, here's the weapon that you can use, here's the cool things that it does, and then it sort of implements those things without really telling you right off the bat. And I think that's where the learning curve is going to be for even people that have only played World and are jumping into what a traditional Monster Hunter in a sense is, like what it used to look like, because that's really what it is. It's you're going a step back in terms of like not just graphically, but the play style as well, and how the monsters react and how you have to react to those monsters are somewhat similar, but your timing has to just be all a little bit different because it is a 3DS port upres and reworked for the Switch, and there's so much more content compared to what World has in terms of monsters and missions. We're getting all those events apparently from the 3DS on here also, so there should be things like getting a Samus suit event and all that stuff in there too.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of people praise the one on the Wii U, but I guess it's obviously dead, but you have to be like
3
online
Ultimate, I
playing
think,
with
right?
people. So yeah. We're also getting into September, which I got to start being picky and choosy with games. Like it's going to start getting like we got Messenger coming out. I just picked up Hollow Knight, Blade Strangers, and SNK. Like, yo, it's getting real.
SNK 40th is coming out next month?
I think
I
so.
was talking about Heroines.
Oh, SNK Heroine. Sorry. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got an email about something shipping from SNK. I was like, what the hell else is coming out? I don't think I
It was
pre-ordered
Warriors.
Heroines.
What's
Ikari
up?
Warriors is coming too.
To the
that's right.
40th, yeah.
Yeah, the 40th anniversary of Ikari Warriors.
Joe's got to play center on Kagra, so there's a lot coming out. Oh man.
Again, I will.
And we didn't talk about this at all, but so on the day that this comes out, the Nindies presentation comes out.
Ooh.
Any predictions at all? Any games that you're looking to see? Because like I know when this comes out, it's only gonna be good for a few hours, this next segment. So
I'm hoping of two things. One, I'm hoping that that the stupid ass fly.
first of all, I enjoyed the UK one a lot.
I did too.
I did.
I thought they did a great job. The presentation, the presentation was phenomenal. I think they did a great job on it. So my thing is this: I'm hoping two things. I'm hoping that we finally get the final piece to Shovel Knight, so this way, Yacht Club can actually start working on a sequel or something different. Because I also want to play this version or this final thing, but I want them to get moving forward. I want them to get on to the next thing and get moving with that. The second thing that I'm hoping is I hope that Image and Form announces their next game. It's been a while since they've talked about anything. I just want them to do something. I want to hear what the next thing is and get the ball rolling with this. So it took them 18 months to do Dig 2.
Okay.
So there's got to be something in the horizon, man. If they've been working on something, they've got to be ready to go. I'm hoping.
Heist 2, baby.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that, but I don't think that's going to be the way they go. I don't
Yeah.
think the Heist did as well as Dig 2
a kart
or
racer.
Dig 1.
You never know with them, seriously.
I know, that's a weird thing with them. They're really weird like that. They'll do something out the wall. So,
Joe, any games that you're looking forward to?
Oh man, I can't even think of ahead of this month, to be honest with you. As far as indies, for that stuff, if we can get a date for Wargroove, like I feel like that game's been in development hell forever. I think did they show it during this past direct real quick?
No, but it's been playable at like every single convention. It's weird.
Yeah, just slap on that release date for me, and I'll be a happy camper. Otherwise, I'm hoping to just see like stuff that I wouldn't even thought would make it to the Switch. And maybe we'll get a few more games that are going to be same day drop, like boom.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, kind of like the Morphe's Law and what was that? Bad North.
Oh yep.
Yeah.
Morphe's Law.
Yeah.
I want to see Hyperlight, something on that, a release date.
Yeah, this would have a sequel, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I can't really think of anything. The other thing that I noticed from the UK one is that the amount of pixel art games, was there any pixel art in there?
There was a couple. But it's changing. Well, that garbage game, that Babu.
Oh yeah,
Baba.
There was that Children of Morthra.
You know what I want to see? You know what I want to see?
What's
but
up?
I don't know that it would be in an indie thing, but it is kind of quasi indie. Child of Light 2 got rumored. And I'm wondering if that.
Well, Child of Light is supposed to be coming out to the Switch, right?
Yeah. That
Child of Light.
Valiant Heart.
So good.
I never finished it, so I'd be really inclined to go through that game again. I played it on Vita a while back.
Yeah.
It's on like everything.
Yeah.
It's a good game. I wouldn't mind seeing that they announce that.
Maybe Unravel 2.
I don't think we're gonna get that, and it's crazy because that's already out, isn't it?
Yeah.
That to me blew my mind that wasn't being brought over. Like EA just doesn't make sense with their stuff.
I wonder if Ubi brings back the Ubi art stuff. Like, what was that that separate team that was working on, like, they were saying indie style like games at the time?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Like,
it's Ubi art is
Ubi art. Okay,
but it's
because Valiant Story,
Hearts.
Valiant Hearts. That was an amazing game.
Yep. That's like, coming as well.
Story and all that. Like, I'm really happy. Like, if we get maybe even whatever the spiritual successor to that was an amazing story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have high expectations though, because this one was actually announced. It's being a little hyped. Like the UK one just dropped out of nowhere. Yeah. So hopefully we got some big stuff. Okay, so
real quick. I'm kind of going through my news here, my news feed, and I just saw this thing pop up 22 hours ago. Nintendo Life talked about a French video game retailer lists Shovel Knight Treasure Trove's physical release.
Huh.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I'll
quadruple dip on that game.
They're saying that the Realtor website has Yacht Club's price titled at €44, which is roughly $50. It's scheduled for release in the middle of March next year. The Treasure Trove collection is currently comprised of the 3 games, and
I'd get it.
But they're talking about maybe possibly putting in the Treasure Trove having actually the 4th one as well, cards or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's for that price, they should.
I mean, I have that.
Yeah, I agree too.
Forever ago.
Yeah, I know, me too.
That's cool.
I just realized we talked about Ubi and indie direct. My bad.
Well, the only reason is because Child of Light was considered
an
indie because they have a smaller team that works on those games. That's the only reason why I brought that up.
Yeah,
I don't know that it essentially is.
It isn't, but I was agreeing with you at the same time, like the Ubi art like style games and whatnot. My bad.
It's
y'all.
kind of like it's kind of like what they do with EA Originals. EA isn't an indie developer, but they kind of take those smaller, and it's like what Square does with that Tokyo RPG Factory. Yeah, it's a smaller, So that's why I brought that up. That's the only reason I brought that up.
I will say just two actually. NAS has an early access game called Assault Spy, which I can totally see being on Switch. I wonder if that gets announced or something, like just thrown out there randomly. And there's a game that I've yet to play because I'm hoping it comes out on a console at some point, and it's called Crosscode. It's on Steam. I think it's either fully released or about to be soon. And that game looks dope as hell. It's like action RPG pixel art, but it looks it looks freaking amazing. And I've always been curious and tempted to buy it. I've always had it on like the watch list to see if it goes on sale, and I never get it. So if it comes out on Switch, I have to buy this.
Oh yeah, also another one, Shakedown Miami. Is that it?
Shakedown Miami. Wow.
Shakedown Miami.
Shakedown Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaii, yeah. Miami, the DLC. Yeah, but that one also. So hopefully, I have high expectations, but that will be today if you're listening to it on Tuesday. All right, so first topic today is the Switch UI. We've talked about this a couple times, but it's been in the news recently because Nintendo posted some job listings for people to work on the Switch UI. And I wanted to kind of get your opinions on what it is now, what you hope it'll be, and how much this will actually change. Because right now, all you do is you press power and it goes right on, which I kind of like, but it's definitely lacking some character. I'll start with Joe. Switch UI, how do you feel about it? Any changes that you think will happen 100%?
Folders and themes.
Yeah.
More importantly, folders. I've gotten used to the slide bar of like just the games because it's usually the first 1 to 3 games that I'm like messing around with at a time. But the way I have my PlayStation set up is with the folders, and it drives me nuts that I can't do that on this, but I could do it on the 3DS and have everything organized the way I exactly want it. Very particular person when it comes to organizing my games, so just drop me some folders and I will be the happiest camper on the planet. That's all I care about when it comes to the main home screen UI. If we're talking about eShop UI, that's a whole other thing. Just give me folders. We'll start there. I'll take that.
Okay. Bobby?
Yeah, I don't need a whole lot. I think the UI is snappy, quick. I don't need anything. Folders would be probably it. A theme, like if I could put a background up rather than black or white, I'd be okay with that. I don't need a whole lot. I know people are complaining about that, but like, dude, go to Xbox. Go over there and then come talk to me. I like the fact that I can get in, pick my game, get out. The whole point of that console is to play a game. This whole UI discussion, dude, there was a time when there was no such thing as a UI. You put the card in, you hit power, and you play the game. And that was it.
Back in my day.
No, I'm just saying.
No. I know what you're saying.
Being honest, it's a game console. This idea of it's supposed to look a certain way to pick the game you're going to play is kind of ridiculous to some degree. Like Joe saying, the store, different ball game altogether. We have a huge conversation about that. The only thing that I think that Nintendo needs to do is, like Joe saying, I totally agree, folders, so we can kind of sort things up. Because I did like that with the Wii U. I had all my 8-bit games, all my NES games in a folder, all my Super Nintendo games, all my Nintendo first-party games in a folder.
Tell them,
then I would actually if I had Capcom and I would put the third parties in their own folders. So then I could just go I want to play this. Boom. I had a folder strictly Mega Man. It had every single Mega Man game right there that Nintendo offered. So I would like that part of it. And then I would honestly just like something a little better, more pleasing to the eye, to the background. But that's it. I don't feel like they need, if that's going to, and I'll be honest with you, if anything that I just mentioned slows it down, don't want it. Don't want it. Because it is so quick. It is so quick to get in and out of games. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
You don't miss the old charm of the Wii and Wii U, and
No.
menu and no.
No.
I can live without it. I always
You
shut
know
off
why?
the music.
You know why? Because I would pick a game to play on the Wii U, and it took forever to get into. Yeah. No, I'll
I just
pass.
think it's really lifeless. Really,
I don't need to
boring.
see all those idiot me's running down through the and they go through the different games and yeah, no. I'll
I
pass.
miss the
I don't-
Mii's. I miss
Yeah,
the
no.
Y'all are
I'll pass.
grumpy. I miss the Mii's. I miss dopey Nintendo.
I have Mii's. They're my avatar on my profile picture.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I don't need nothing else. Yeah, we don't need nothing else.
Also, the apps are kind of lacking. I don't know. That's not UI, but that's just
What do
bring
you
over
mean
some
apps?
stuff.
What do you mean apps?
I mean, I game on my Switch, but I'd like to do some other stuff. I mean, they announced
That's not UI.
I know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Added stuff. Add some more stuff in there.
Well, okay. So I had this topic brought up this past week on Nintendo Guru Daily, but why, Pat? What do you need?
I mean,
What do you want? Netflix, YouTube?
this is my primary console. I want some stuff to, mess around with. Because like you don't always just want to play games. Like we have Hulu, that comic book subscription thing. Yeah, the phone's all right, but it should at least have Netflix and YouTube.
Netflix and YouTube.
Or a weather channel, or a check.
I mean, that's not really on Nintendo though. That's all.
That's the thing that I brought up. And the thing is, like, that's not Nintendo. That's YouTube. That's Netflix. Like, why Nintendo gets a bad rap for that, I don't understand. Yeah. But that should be them going like, "Hey, we want to put this on there. Are we allowed?" Now, if they asked Nintendo, and Nintendo said no, then we got a problem. But I don't believe that because even Reggie said like it's in the works. It's been talked about and stuff. It's so different than Discord. Like I want to see that come on over
Discord,
and stuff.
Yeah.
I just think that like it's Nintendo's, that's not their focus, man. Their focus is games. Like that's the thing. We went through this whole thing of like we want more games. Because guess what? Wii U had Netflix, Wii U had Hulu, Wii U had Crunchyroll, and I would rather have games than have that crap. Because Wii U did not have games. So again, we'll get into this debate. If anybody wants to debate me with it, that's a gaming system. I want to play games. That's all I give a damn about. I got 3 TVs in the house that have Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, all that stuff. I have an iPad there. I have a cell phone here. I have a computer here. I got a computer there. I don't need another thing to watch Hulu or Netflix. And by the way, I have Hulu on it, and I have a subscription to Hulu, and I go in the living room and watch Hulu. Because I'm like, I want to watch it on the TV. I want to watch, I want to watch America's Got Talent on TV.
I say the only thing,
watch it too.
And we've said this a million times, but like the eShop is just the main thing
That's the problem. That we could talk that. Like,
I would not care if that took like 20 extra seconds loading up.
Like, I could care less. I love the Wii U eShop. I think the Wii U eShop was the best consumer shop ever. It beats iTunes, it beats Xbox, it beats Sony, it beats them all. That thing was awesome. I used to literally go there during Christmas time just to listen to the music because I love the music. Like it was so good, man. And then they would theme the music. Like if Donkey Kong Country was coming out this week, or this month, like you would have Donkey Kong music in there. If Mario Kart was coming out, you'd get dude, that was the best. That was the best.
Yeah. But as far as the UI, I actually like my recent games like up there. It's not that bad. I wish like there was another bar for like apps and stuff. So like Hulu. But I don't know.
Yeah, there's like so many simple things they can do in that shop, dude. Like even just have a separate how hard is it to have a separate tab for demos? That irked me to no extent when I was like, how the hell do I find demos? And then they updated the thing, I guess, to say search for demos underneath the search bar tab, and I didn't know about it. And I was like, what? No, you don't do that. Like, come on, man. Just make a
Did you guys hear that it takes 200 kilobytes to load it up? I think they said that.
The store?
No, the UI, like just to...
Oh, I saw that. There was another article here that I was looking, and I did see that, like,
that's
there's
crazy.
Nintendo addressed the UI and stuff, and it was like that's crazy that they're talking about it. But let's see if I can find it real
I
quick.
think it looks cool. It looks snappy. I don't know. It's just a little lifeless. It's kind of weird to see from like Wii to Wii U, but
Yeah, it's like how lively it was with certain things like music and stuff. But like for me, even the icons, like you know how like on a 3DS when you pick an icon, it usually has a little tune or something like that.
yeah.
I was surprised that something like that wasn't really there. But again, if it's gonna get me into the game quicker, eh.
Honestly, if you just add themes, that would be a big thing.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I think it'd be cool.
So yeah, this is basically saying that when they went into making the console, they wanted the focus on the OS being simple yet functional, along with appearing easy to use. To do this, they separated applications, meaning like news in the eShop, etc., and all adjusted to one size, and then basically putting that aside, so you have to go to that, and then the focus being on games. They actually went old school. They said the NES intimacy was seen at a point of inspiration. One flip of a switch and you were into a game. So that's what they were looking at. They were looking to go back to that. Like you put the game in, you hit power, boom, you were into the game. And that's what they were looking to do with this and get back into that. Quickness was prioritized. After the Wii U, they basically were like, as long as it took to get into stuff with the Wii U, they wanted that to be here. And that was basically it. I mean, that's the highlights of what they said. But yeah, they addressed the whole thing in a whole. The Switch's focus on rhythmic sound effects with no background music was to centralize on quick access to content. So they felt like the music would take time to load up, and they wanted it to be this quick and point to get to where you wanted to go. Look at. After the Wii U, I think they recognize like all these bells and whistles that we threw in here is pointless. Nobody cares about it. They're coming to play the game. And the thing of it is like they put that quick start menu on the Wii U where you actually hit it and you can load right into the game right off the gamepad because it was so slow. Yeah. So I think they recognize that like some people were all about that cutesy like music and the Mii's coming in, and some people just wanted to play the thing for the game and hit it and go right to where it was. So I like that they did it, but I like that they addressed it too.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Just fix the eShop.
Pat, you said you wanted Mii's and back in. There's a whole game for that called Go Vacation. It's where they went to die.
And how did that game work out? I just want Mii's again. Why get rid of Mii's? I mean, we still have them, but they're like in an options menu. It's kind of weird. Yeah. Bobby.
Yes.
Your topic.
Yeah, the reason why I brought this up was because yesterday when I was at the store, I picked up this little gem, Mother 3, complete in box. Japanese version, obviously, because it never came to the United States. But when I found this yesterday at the store, I was like, yeah, what? Because this was like one of the ones on my list that like I wanted to have. I got Mother 2 the last time I went to a block party event at Next Level Games. So now I got Mother 3, and I told the vendor that was there, I was like, you need to get me Mother 1, and then we will talk. So that's the thing. But I wanted to know what you guys, what's something that if you could get your hands on it, what's the one thing that you really want that Nintendo put out? And I'll go to Joe first.
Oh man, me first. Crap.
Good.
Jeez. It sounds silly, and it sounds like it's the first thing I could think of. First off, and secondly, I have a lot of attachment to these games, but like the it has to be specifically from Nintendo. I just realized. All right,
yeah, so for Nintendo, yeah.
No, because I was gonna say TMNT 2 complete in box NES or Turtles in Time complete in box for Super Nintendo. Those games mean a lot to me, but if we're talking just Nintendo,
I mean that would work. That's NES.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell? That's
sorry. When you say Nintendo, I'm thinking like it has to be from Nintendo, not for the console.
well, I mean, it could be something like
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, like games or whatever. It doesn't even. I mean,
Okay.
I just don't. I don't want to hear about the PlayStation 1. Like, come on, that's all.
Oh man, yeah, those and Resi 2 still exists out there somewhere on the N64. I would love to.
There's not a console. There's not a console that you want or something like that.
Virtual Boy. I mean, we talked about that one. Like, it's such an odd thing. Like, I would love to own a Virtual Boy just for the sake of having it and like messing with those games on there. Like, I still remember to this day, it's such a stupid memory of going to Toys R Us and messing around with Virtual Boy, and then like a few weeks later it was gone. Like, that was my experience with Virtual Boy. I played it like at less than a handful of times. Like, it was maybe twice, 3 times or something like that. And for some reason Wario Land was in there for some reason. So it wasn't even, I don't think that was even like ported as a Virtual Boy game to my knowledge.
No.
Are they considered really rare?
Wario.
They are. The consoles aren't that hard to get, but they are pricey.
Yeah.
You're going to drop about $300-$400 on it, and complete in box. You're probably going to spend close to $8-9 for a complete in box version. But the games are harder to get than consoles.
Yeah.
But there's not because there's not a whole lot of games. There may be like 29 games total, and that's if you're including Japan. I think in the United States it's only like maybe 13 games, so it's not a whole lot.
And there's people,
what about you? Good.
Oh, sorry. There's like people that made a Patreon. I don't know if it still exists, but their goal is to like create new Virtual Boy games, and like some of the tiers is to actually like, hey, we'll give you demos of this game to try out or whatever as like one of the tiers, which I thought was really neat. It's like, how do you do that? Like, how did these carts, like, is someone reproing these Virtual Boy carts to like sell them, or are they like riding over older games?
Yeah, I don't know. What about you, Pat?
I don't know if it would really be like a holy grail, but I've always wanted the orange or what is it, indigo or something? I don't know. No, the orange GameCube console. What is that? Japan only or something?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I've always wanted that, and also the I've seen this around at a few places, but the Pikachu N64.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And with the controller though. Don't even look at me if you don't have the controller.
Blue and yellow, right?
Yeah.
Blue and yellow. Yep.
Yep.
I actually I should have grabbed it. I saw it at a flea market the other. I should have grabbed it. But just the some of the older like promotional Nintendo like some of that stuff, just like the advertising and stuff, I would like to have like the old neon signs and like some of the old
kiosks.
posters. Yeah.
So the thing that I want so badly, and I've been 2 times I've been like that close to pulling the trigger on it. But there's always something wrong with it when I go for it. It's called the Sharp Nintendo Television. And this is basically a Nintendo or a television, a Sharp television with a built-in Nintendo in it. And they very limited, like
I've heard
very limited. A lot of what it was they were so expensive to get back in the day that a lot of hotels bought them. And you would go to a hotel and they would be in the hotel and you would bring your cartridges and you'd put them in and you could play.
That'd be awesome.
It was so cool, man. It was so cool. But it was, the thing of it is like like I almost even just bought the controllers because they had black Nintendo controllers. They weren't the traditional gray ones. Okay. So they're black with like red writing on them and stuff. But they're identical to the NES controller. They're just black and red. They made a couple different models. The newer models are better than the older models, obviously. But the crazy thing was a lot of the other people that used it a lot was video game magazine companies, because back in the day it was very difficult to take pictures of a screen. But for some reason, because this was top of the line, like this was the best way to play an NES. Meaning, there used to be all these things like they were talking about, like you used to like use the coaxial to plug in your NES to the TV, but then they came out with like audio video cables, and that was better. Then this was a step up above that. So, but because of the way of the screen, you didn't get these blur lines and stuff. So video game magazines bought these to be able to take pictures of the screen so then they could put them in magazines. But they are very rare. I want to get one so badly. I'm like,
so what was wrong with the ones that you saw?
One was like had a cracked leg. And they wanted a lot of money for it. So it's like, you want me to pay a lot of money for it just because you know this item's rare, but it's also broken. I mean, like, I don't even know if I could get it fixed. So that's the, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be different if it was like a Switch with a broken Joy-Con. Okay, I'll just buy a new, I'll buy that Switch, and then I'll just go to the store and buy a new Joy-Con. Mm-hmm. This with a broken leg, it's like, what do? It's plastic, the way it looked. Like, maybe if I had a 3D printer, I could do something with it, but I'm just like, no, I don't want to spend that kind of money. Because they were asking like $600 for it. Ooh, and I'm like,
oh, damn.
like, the controllers, like we were talking about the controllers, I've seen the controllers go like for $60 a piece. And that's one, not two, one controller for $60. So it's a super rare item. But I just, man, so badly I want. Another thing that Nintendo put out that I think is very quirky that I would like, they had an exercise bike that actually, you know, with a monitor built on the front of it and stuff. Like, these are things that like you see and it's like, oh my God, I would just like to just have that. Like, that'd be so cool.
I think they had one for the Wii too.
I don't know.
That console's a mess.
Yeah, that thing had a lot of stuff.
What didn't they come out with for the Wii though? Let's be real.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like the NES, and there's so much stuff too that was.
That was my phone.
Oh,
there was so much stuff in Japan that got released.
Yeah,
like the 64 DD. That's to me is kind of cool. That's why I want to go to Japan so bad, because I want to save. I want to take about like $6,000-7,000 and go to Japan and just buy up all kinds of crazy stuff. That like, because they keep their stuff pristine, man.
Yeah,
their stuff is so. What is this? What are you waving for?
Joe's a mess. Dropping stuff.
This guy.
Anyway. Hey, at least I muted myself.
Okay. But like, I look at this Mother 3 game, and it's perfect. Perfect. It's not. There's no scratches. There's no.
That's
like,
awesome.
Dents or anything on it. Like, dude, this is like a 12-year-old game in its perfect condition. Like, if that was in the United States, I'd have like creases and bends and like totally crazy.
Cigarette burns in it. Damn it, United States.
God damn it, America.
If it was your case, you'd have like blunt burns in it.
Blunt, yeah. It's funny though, because I don't have any like Holy Grail stuff in my collection. I wouldn't say any of this is. I don't know.
No,
I was gonna say the NES Classic months and months ago, but now it's like getting a pack.
Easy to get now.
Yeah.
The only Holy Grail I need.
Can we talk about? What's that?
Resident Evil Gaiden, the worst Resident Evil game on the planet. And then Umbrella Corps came out, so that's the worst one now. So I'm good. Like,
but can we talk about that? Can we talk about how that's not the news story now of how easy it is to get an NES Classic? How people were like jumping off of bridges and ready to kill
Nintendo, though. Like, you made it a non-issue. That's the only thing you needed to do.
It took them 2 years.
Yeah.
Hey man, but they did it.
They did it. Yeah, they did do it.
And let's be fair, the Super Nintendo one really wasn't that hard to get.
No.
Like I would go to Best Buy all the time, and there'd be like boatloads of them in the stores. So it's like
that was interesting.
They learned their lesson. You know, they learned their lesson from it. So
the true test is going to be the N64 Classic, because I think
have millions of them on shelves, because I ain't buying that piece of garbage.
I think that's going to outsell both of those combined. The ones that
are you nuts? Are you on crack?
I will bet right now.
N64?
How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? There's going to be 5 games on that thing.
You
And it's
got
gonna sell.
you got a ton of like 20-year-olds, late 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds that are gonna eat that up, dude. Mario Kart alone. If it was a Mario Kart,
It depends
I would
on
rather
what's
play Mario
on
Kart
there.
8 than Mario Kart 64.
oh,
I would
same.
rather play Odyssey than Mario 64.
I say
I'd
it's gonna
rather play
sell
Breath of the
more.
Wild than Ocarina. I just look. I don't think, because here's the thing. I don't think that thing is going to get a lot of games on it. I think you're going to be lucky if you get 10 games. Because think about it. They went from what?
Yeah, all the
30
rare games are done.
They went from 30 games, right, on the NES Classic to what, 19 or 20, 21. That garbage Star Fox thing they put in there on the Super Nintendo Classic. So they're probably going to go 10 games if you're lucky. And you're not going to get Banjo-Kazooie. You're not going to get GoldenEye. You're not going to get the games that were like.
You're still gonna get Mario Kart,
staples.
Mario Tennis,
Every
Mario
Party.
Yeah, except the first one. The first one's terrible.
Donkey Kong.
Not even. That's rare, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah, but that's a Nintendo property, so they'll probably get it. It was on the Wii U.
That's
so
that's right.
I think
that's
you'll
right.
get it. But it's bad. Nobody wants it. We could do without that.
like
game.
there's some questionable games on the 64.
There's a lot of
I have to
questionable
admit,
games.
and I really enjoyed games
Yeah.
like when I think N64, I'm thinking Shadows of the Empire, which I almost bought yesterday. I'm thinking
You're not gonna
Castlevania:
get-
Legacy of Darkness.
Yeah, you might get that. You might get
maybe
that.
get that. Like maybe
You got Yoshi,
No
you got
Mercy.
Kirby.
Extreme G, Blast Core, Bio weapons. Like
F-Zero,
I get
Star
it.
Fox. Get out of here, guys. N64 is no. we got.
Dude,
some
I
good
love the
There's
N64.
nothing
I'm just
good.
like
There's- okay. Wait.
Star Fox
let me
64.
back that down. There's some good games.
Okay,
but I
Pokemon
think-
Stadium. Pokemon
So you're not
Snap.
going to get all that stuff, though. That's the thing. You're only going to get 10 games. Look at the pricing. So they charge $7 a game on the eShop for N64 games,
Yeah.
$7 or $8. So do the math. They're going to want this thing to be priced at about $70 to $80. They're not going to put more than 10 games on this thing. Not going to happen.
Well, I will buy it if it has 3 games on it because I could put as many games as I want.
See, well, you could do that with your Nintendo too.
Well, I don't
That's-
know
You could
right
just
now.
you could go buy an NES Classic, put it in, and then upload all your
Yeah.
stolen games.
Those ROM sites are
Honestly-
getting shut down, though.
Yeah, they are getting shut
That's-
down.
that's
Nintendo's
true.
going after them. I think that's why Nintendo's going after them, is because of that, with the NES Classic and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
This is like the best way I think to play retro games, though. If you hack it,
Why are you promoting that?
hack your
Why?
games, guys.
No, I'm not part of that. I'm not even. No.
No, I think it is a nice way to play it though. Like even
No,
the vanilla
it's nice
version.
It's nice to have the controller. I will say that it's nice to have that controller. I don't know, man. I don't feel like Super Mario 64 is me. It's funny because Toby and I were just talking about this. Like, it's like even if they updated the graphics, that camera sucks balls.
Yeah.
Like, so horrible. And it's not like I bought it on the Wii U, and I was like, why did I buy this? This is horrible. Like,
It's a
the
game
camera sucks.
It's a game you can only play on an N64 controller. There's a couple of games like that.
Well, we'll think of
Now,
the
if they
stakes
put
after,
now, I'll tell
but
you this: if they put 1,000 Year Door on it, I'd buy it.
That's GameCube, though, right?
Paper
Okay, so
Mario.
that's not going to happen.
Paper
I don't want
Mario.
that. I'm at 1,000 Year Door. Disregard. Got my consoles mixed up. There's nothing's going to make me buy that.
The one on the
Unless they put-
N64 is good. Paper Mario.
No, it's not. If they put No Mercy on it, then we'll talk.
That's another one, like WCW, NWO Revenge, WrestleMania 2000. Like,
Yeah.
that was a third-party system
Oh man, that was
in
nice. Yeah.
a console that lost Square. Like
NFL Blitz.
NFL Blitz and
Do
Wayne
you think it
Gretzky's
gets
NHL
the,
hockey.
do you think it gets the Pokemon games?
I would imagine Pokemon, and then you're losing functionality too. On top of that, Pokemon Stadium
hold on.
allowed you to put your Pokemon Red and Blue and Gold and Silver
Yeah.
for Stadium 2.
I mean, so far
In
the
there.
controllers have been 1-to-1, like exact. So
Yeah.
if you have the pack, I'm assuming, which I still do, you can play it on the
5 years old living over there. The 5-year-old Pat is like, please.
He's doing backflips off camera.
Pokemon Stadium, Nintendo.
Dave will come over. We'll have a nice little time.
Oh my god.
Yo, we got your topic.
Oh man. So yeah,
Don't talk about the
3DS
3DS.
remakes. We've seen the likes of Captain Toad show up this year. We're seeing Luigi's Mansion get a date.
Captain Toad's on a 3DS remake.
Well, no, like, let me finish explaining.
Okay, well you said 3DS remakes. You threw me off there with that.
So, well, games that are getting 3DS versions. Let me say that. I'm trying to avoid using the word port. I think it's overused this year. I'm done using that.
Just say it. It is.
The best
What 3DS games do you want ported over to the Switch?
So that's the question that I wanted to ask. Should the games that are getting ported to the 3DS, like a Luigi's Mansion, eventually come over to Switch, or should they be testing out more of this simultaneous like Switch 3DS combinations? Is there a method there that seems to work? Or, I mean, have we even seen sales of Captain Toad, how well Captain Toad did on 3DS when it launched same time as the Switch version?
I don't think Captain Toad did well at all, honestly, because they're not talking about that at all.
Yeah.
And the games that sell a lot, they're like tooting their own horn, man.
Yeah.
They're just swinging that Nintendo balls and cock all over the place when they talk about games that are big. But I think that I don't think that they've done well with that. Honestly, I would prefer.
I'm done. I am done.
I would just prefer that they just shut down the 3DS. Don't even make the games for the 3DS. Just bring them right to Switch. I would rather Luigi's Mansion would have been on the Switch as opposed to the 3DS. Get out of here with your nonsense, Joe. Get out of here with your nonsense.
So
I have a bunch of them, Joe. I got the same thing right there, Joe.
He didn't mean it.
I got two over there, Joe. I got them all over the place. I got two down there, Joe. I got a bunch right there, Joe. I have them.
I'm sorry. And you don't use them.
It's time to bury them, Joe.
All right. So here we go. Luigi's Mansion remake, Top 100, Mario Party Top 100, and WarioWare Gold should have all been Switch games. That, like, I know that WarioWare Gold did good on the 3DS. It actually made charts and stuff like that. But why would you put a Mario Party game on a 3DS?
Because Mario Party.
Well, I mean, we're getting Mario Party. We're getting Mario
wait,
Party
but you last year. This was November too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it's so random.
I'm still not over it.
Yeah.
But Luigi's Mansion, that to me is a really big head scratcher. I mean, that just kind of shows you where they're at with the 3DS. That, like, when you're talking about ports coming over, I don't want the trends of the 3DS to come over to, like, lazy porting, lazy games. I feel like there are still some gems that have come out, but Luigi's Mansion is the biggest head scratcher to me. How great would that have been to make, because they made a lesser version. Like, play the GameCube version if you want the better version, but an HD version coming over. We had Luigi getting killed in the trailer. It would have been a perfect announcement. Luigi's Mansion.
I think they should do a quasi deluxe, put 1 and 2 together, throw it on the Switch, $30, done.
You think they make a third one because of that?
I think there, but I think I never played Luigi's Mansion in the arcade, but there's an arcade version.
That game is good.
Huh.
So, like, why not bring that?
The controller makes it, though. The controller.
It's like you actually use a vacuum, right?
Yeah, and then when you suck up coins and stuff, it actually.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's really cool. You guys have to check it out. I played it at Dave & Buster's.
Yeah, that's where it is. I want to go check it out.
That's awesome. I've not heard of that.
And you go in like a booth and stuff. It's really cool.
Mario.
But I would love to see a WarioWare game come The one on the Wii U, I still rep that. That's a great game.
That one threw me off because I was like, the Joy-Cons, they make perfect sense for WarioWare.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
What do you think, Joe?
Yeah.
Me, I mean, I would have thought, hey, this at this point, 3DS seems to be like the console that everyone just buys the limited editions for at this point. They said that they were going to support it. I was really happy about it, and I have not seen anything since Alliance Alive and Radiant Historia. Captain Toad, I was like, oh, it's neat that it's coming out. That's cool, but like these games are few and far between. We're talking about and we're not getting any more information about it. They're treating this like the Wii U now. It's like This is end of life. This is really end of life.
Done. Go away. That's what it should be. It's time for that system to die.
Which harkens the question of okay, if they're trying to breathe in a little bit more life into this, mind you, Luigi's Mansion was supposed to be slated for 2019. I thought.
Yeah.
So that was really surprised that
I talked about this on If We Ran Nintendo Friday night. I brought up the fact of what I would love to see is because we talked about the whole upgrade. Like if we were to upgrade the Switch, what we would like to see in the second model of it. I would love for them to put a port in it where you could actually put 3DS cartridges directly in the Switch. And a lot of it was like, well, there's something made for dual screen and all, and but man, it would be so cool to play Animal Crossing or whatever, New Leaf or
turn it vertical.
Yeah, you could because don't they have them? There was that grip.
Yeah, and check this out. I didn't know this, but the 2DS, Spawnwave broke it down. 2DS screens a single screen that's just shaped that positioned in portrait view to be able to do the two screens, and that it's one giant touchscreen, I guess.
Yeah,
and that it's just different covers for both of them.
Yeah.
So in theory, you can do that with the Switch.
Yeah. I mean, how hard is it, seriously, to just turn your Switch horizontally and then you have your Joy-Con?
I mean, it would look goofy, but this is also Nintendo.
Yeah, or they have that grip, right? Somebody put out a third-party grip that actually you could slide. You put the Switch in the middle, and then you slide the grips down the side of it. That's another option. Dude, this is the peripheral machine. We just went through 3 of them yesterday when we were in the store.
Yeah.
You had that little charging thing. It's nuts right now, all the stuff that Nintendo has for it. So I personally wouldn't mind it at all if they did that. I think it would be pretty awesome. I would like Luigi's Mansion, no reason why I can't come over. Luigi's Mansion 2, don't know reason why I came over. There's so many games, so many good games on that console. 3D Land, amazing game. Would love to have that on there. Man, let us put everything on that thing.
So
either open the eShop and let us buy games, or put a port on there, let us put the games in there. That's the thing. You think about it. Just think about it, right? So on the Super Nintendo, we had the Super Game Boy, where you put the cartridges in and you put the cartridge on top of Super Game Boy. And then the GameCube had the player, right, that you put underneath of it. This would harken to the ability to go do that. Do that. It's a portable device. Give us the ability to bring it with us on the go, man. It'd be awesome.
And some games don't use the bottom screen. Maybe those are the first ones. Try them out or something.
Yeah. Metroid, that Metroid game. Everybody was saying that game should have been on the Switch. I would love to have that Metroid game on the Switch.
So we're gonna go old school here. You release the Switch without the dock, without the bells and whistles, and you package it with either Pokemon Let's Go Eevee or Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Bam! You got 10 million sold right there for $199, and you just throw the 3DS away. They could do that. They could do that. $199.
They could. I'm almost inclined to say they charge $250.
I would, you know what? At this point, you sell it for $199 and you just get the Switch in kids' hands because you have a whole eShop. You have a ton of games coming out. You really think they're going to say no to Smash? Like, put it in their hands. $199. I just made you a bunch of money, man.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think that'd be a better alternative than just releasing these, like, just releasing games on the 3DS just to release games. Like, people are obviously still willing to spend $150 for old consoles. So.
It really makes you wonder if, like, they're just, like, trying to hold off and working on something R&D wise to get what the second handheld, or what the just dedicated handheld, so to speak, for lack of a better term, would be a 3DS successor, basically. Like, what does that look like? And maybe they're speeding that up because they thought, oh, the 3DS will be able to keep this here, and now clearly Switch has been hotcakes and everything, so 3DS is like, okay, maybe we end support now and, like, do these last couple of games and then push everything over to whatever this 3DS successor ends up being.
Yeah. I don't know. Something to think about, but yeah, I think that's episode 49 this week. Bobby, we'll start with you. Where can the lovely people
NintendoGuru.com.
Joe, what about you, man?
JoeAfterWork.com, YouTube and Twitch and Twitter.
Hey. And you're already here on NintenTalk. And we will see you episode 50 next week. So see you then, guys. Peace out.
Peace out, Preston.
He's just gonna haunt your dreams. He's just gonna haunt your dreams. Okay. There you go.
Your definition of sexy is kind of fucked up.
I know.